Have you ever wondered how small, mindful actions at home could transform your financial situation and bring a continuous blessings into your life? Islam teaches that Barakah, divine blessings, can multiply wealth, health, and opportunities when paired with sincere intention, prayer, and ethical action. This doesn't involve superstition or magical thinking. It's about aligning your actions with faith and mindfulness. One simple yet powerful practice involves placing symbolic items, like a small Quranic verse, under your bed as a daily reminder of Allah's presence and your intentions for provision and sustenance. A man in Indonesia tried this, reporting that he felt more focused, motivated, and even received unexpected financial opportunities within weeks. This mirrors the wisdom in Surah Al-Baqarah 2261, which teaches that Allah multiplies the rewards of small, sincere deeds done with faith. By combining intention, mindful placement of blessed reminders, and ethical effort, you create an environment where both spiritual and material blessings can flow. Have you ever tried placing a small reminder or blessed item in your home for Barakah? Comment yes or no and share what happened. Your story could inspire others to bring more blessings into their lives. Understanding Barakah in Islam. Barakah is a unique concept in Islam that refers to divine blessings that multiply what you have, whether it is wealth, health, time, or opportunities, beyond ordinary expectations. It is not about superstition, luck, or magic. Barakah is earned through sincere faith, ethical actions, prayer, and mindfulness in everyday life. When our intentions are pure and our actions are aligned with Allah's guidance, small efforts can produce immense and lasting benefits. For example, a family in Egypt decided to recite the Quran regularly at home, maintain a clean and mindful environment, and engage in daily dhikr and dua. Within a few months, they noticed tangible changes. Financial opportunities arose unexpectedly. Household harmony improved, and stress related to money decreased significantly. Thus, it demonstrates that Barakah transforms ordinary actions into sources of continuous blessing. The Quran emphasizes the importance of inviting Barakah through purification and righteous deeds. Surah Al-Tawbah 9:103 teaches that by purifying your wealth and home and giving charity, Allah blesses what remains and multiplies it in ways beyond human imagination. This shows that Barakah is intertwined with both spiritual mindfulness and practical action. It is not the hidden item alone, but the intention, faith, and ethical behavior surrounding it that invite Allah's mercy and blessings. Understanding Barakah helps believers see that wealth and opportunities are not merely the result of effort alone, but are amplified when aligned with faith, gratitude, and conscious action. By integrating small practices like mindful placement of reminders or Quranic verses at home, we create an environment that encourages focus, spiritual awareness, and divine favor. Autrement, do you focus on creating Barakah in your home? Comment below with one small change you've made to invite blessings. Sharing your experience could help others discover simple ways to attract Allah's mercy into their lives. The power of placement and intention. In Islam, the power of intention, or niyyah, is fundamental. When a believer combines a sincere intention with mindful action, even ordinary objects can become sources of spiritual benefit. This principle does not imply superstition or magic. Rather, it emphasizes that purposeful, faith-driven actions attract Allah's blessings. One practical way to apply this principle is by placing blessed reminders, small Quranic verses or notes with sincere du'as in meaningful locations, such as under the bed. The act itself is symbolic. serving as a constant reminder of reliance on Allah. Focus on gratitude and the conscious pursuit of sustenance and barakah in daily life. Consider the story of a teacher in Morocco. She placed a small Quranic verse under her bed with the intention of seeking Allah's guidance and barakah in her work and household. Within weeks, she experienced unexpected financial gifts and opportunities, which she attributed not to luck, but to her consistent intention combined with practical effort. This example illustrates how thoughtful placement and deliberate intention can enhance spiritual mindfulness and invite blessings into ordinary spaces. The Quran reminds us of the connection between intention and peace of heart. Surah Al-Ra'd 13:28 states that hearts find tranquility in the remembrance of Allah. Intentional acts, even small symbolic ones, align the heart with divine consciousness, creating a fertile environment for barakah. Ultimately, the key is mindfulness. Placing an item under the bed is not magical, but it serves as a tool for cultivating sincere intention, gratitude, and focus on Allah, which in turn amplifies the impact of everyday actions and attracts spiritual and material blessings. Have you ever intentionally placed a symbolic item in your home for barakah? Share in the comments and inspire others to adopt purposeful, faith-driven actions in their own spaces. Specific items and practices. Now that we understand the importance of intention and mindful placement, let's explore practical items that can be placed under your bed to invite barakah into your life. The key is mindfulness and consistent connection with Allah, not superstition. These items act as daily reminders of faith, gratitude, and focus on righteous deeds. Practical items include small Quranic verses written on paper or printed, which can be recited daily or simply kept as reminders. Notes with sincere du'as asking for sustenance, guidance, and blessings. Symbolic reminders of gratitude or contentment, such as a written note of things you are thankful for each day. The purpose is to maintain awareness of Allah's presence, strengthen intention, and inspire actions aligned with faith. Consistent recitation, prayer, and mindfulness alongside these items amplify their spiritual and psychological impact. For instance, a young entrepreneur in Malaysia placed a small dua card under his bed each night and combined it with morning dhikr before starting his workday. Over several months, he observed steady business growth, more clients, and increased opportunities that seemed to come unexpectedly. He attributes this success not to the card alone, but to the combination of sincere intention, consistent spiritual practice, and ethical effort. The Quran emphasizes the value of righteous action and divine multiplication of blessings. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:61 teaches that Allah multiplies the reward of what is righteous, while Surah Al-Isra 17:70 reminds us that humans are honored and blessed through divine wisdom. These scriptures show that when small intentional actions are combined with faith, the results can exceed expectations. Remember, these items are not magical objects. They are symbolic tools to cultivate mindfulness, gratitude, and spiritual alignment. By integrating them with prayer, dhikr, and consistent ethical actions, we create an environment ripe for barakah in our homes, work, and personal life. Which item would you place under your bed for barakah? Comment below and explain why you chose it. Sharing your choice may inspire someone else to create a mindful space for blessings. Combining faith, action, and reflection. It's essential to understand that barakah is not a form of magic or superstition. The items we place under our beds, like Quranic verses or dua notes, serve as symbolic reminders, supporting our focus, intention, and mindfulness. True barakah comes from combining faith, consistent action, and reflection. By pairing symbolic reminders with prayer, dhikr, gratitude, and ethical effort, we align our daily actions with divine guidance, amplifying their impact. Consider the example of a family in Saudi Arabia. They placed a small Quranic verse under their bed with the sincere intention of inviting blessings into their home. In addition, they committed to weekly acts of charity, daily prayers, and moments of reflection on their sustenance. Over 6 months, they noticed tangible results: financial improvements, unexpected opportunities, and increased harmony within their household. The story demonstrates that Barakah multiplies when intention is paired with conscious action and reflection. The Quran emphasizes this principle. Surah Al-Baqarah 2-61 illustrates how Allah multiplies the reward of what is righteous. The example of those who send their wealth in the way of Allah is like a seed of grain that sprouts 7 ears. In every ear there are 100 grains. Surah Al-Talaq 65. 2 reminds us that Allah provides from sources beyond imagination for those who maintain mindfulness, intention, and ethical action. These verses teach us that blessings increase when faith is coupled with deliberate righteous deeds. Therefore, placing symbolic items under the bed is not the source of wealth itself. It is the intention and practice behind them that invokes divine favor. When combined with reflection, gratitude, prayer, and ethical action, this simple practice can transform daily life, increase financial stability, and strengthen spiritual awareness. Barakah is a holistic concept, encompassing both material and spiritual dimensions, and thrives when believers act mindfully and consistently. Do you combine intention, prayer, and action to attract blessings? Share your experience in the comments. Your story may encourage others to align their daily routines with faith and mindfulness. Real stories and contemporary examples. Across the modern Muslim world, countless individuals and families have experienced barakah by combining intention, prayer, and mindful action. These real-life examples demonstrate that small, consistent practices can create meaningful change in both financial and spiritual life. In Egypt, a small business owner placed a Quranic verse under his bed while committing to daily dhikr and regular charity. Within months, he noticed an increase in clients and consistent revenue that far exceeded his expectations. Similarly, a student in Indonesia began keeping a dua card under her bed, reciting it daily before sleep, and practicing gratitude each morning. She observed improved focus, academic opportunities, and financial ease with freelance work she had previously struggled to secure. Families have also seen remarkable results. A household in Morocco hid a small Quranic verse under the parents' bed while committing to weekly charitable contributions and family dhikr sessions. Over several months, they experienced unexpected financial gifts, smoother household finances, and a more harmonious home environment. These stories reflect a key principle. Barakah is not instantaneous or automatic. It grows when intention, prayer, ethical action, and consistent reflection converge. The Quran reinforces this lesson. Surah Yusuf 1276 illustrates how patience, faith, and deliberate action bring eventual prosperity even after long trials. And the king said, "Bring him to me. I will appoint him exclusively for myself." Thus did we establish Yusuf in the land so that we might teach him the interpretation of events. Allah is dominant over his affair, but most people do not know. This demonstrates that blessings often arrive after persistent effort guided by faith, patience, and mindfulness. These modern examples mirror the timeless wisdom of the Quran and Sunnah. Intentional actions, combined with reflection, prayer, and gratitude generate spiritual and material benefits. Symbolic practices, such as placing blessed reminders under the bed, serve as anchors, encouraging daily mindfulness, fostering ethical behavior, and inviting barakah into homes and workplaces alike. Have you experienced unexpected blessings after combining intention, prayer, and action? Comment below and inspire others to integrate mindful, faith-driven practices into their daily routines. Do's and don'ts for maximum barakah content. Script. To invite barakah effectively into your home, it is essential to follow practical guidelines rooted in Islamic teachings. The goal is not to rely on superstition, but to combine faith, intention, and ethical action with symbolic reminders. Do keep items clean, pure, and spiritually meaningful. A Quranic verse or dua card should reflect sincerity and mindfulness. Recite Quran or dhikr when placing these items. The act of remembrance strengthens the intention behind the practice and aligns the heart with Allah's guidance. Don't fall into superstition or believe that the item alone will create wealth. Barakah is a blessing from Allah, activated by sincere intention and righteous action, not by the physical object itself. Neglect prayer, charity, and gratitude, which are essential components for sustaining blessings. Without ethical and spiritual effort, symbolic practices have limited effect. For example, a man in Jordan placed blessed items under his bed with the expectation of financial gain, but ignored prayer and gratitude. Months passed with no noticeable improvement. Once he incorporated regular dhikr, prayers, and acts of charity into his routine, he began to experience steady income growth and enhanced household harmony. This shows that symbolic placement alone is not enough. It must be combined with sincere spiritual and ethical practices. The wisdom in these do's and don'ts aligns with Quranic teachings on intention, righteousness, and the multiplication of blessings. Surah Al-Baqarah 2261 reminds us that Allah multiplies what is given sincerely in His way. And Surah Al-Talaq 65:2 reinforces that provision comes from sources beyond imagination when faith and ethical action are present. By following these guidelines, you ensure that your practices for attracting barakah remain rooted in faith, mindfulness, and ethical behavior, maximizing both spiritual and material benefits. Which of these practices do you already follow? Comment below and reflect on how you can improve your daily routines for barakah. Sharing your habits may inspire others to align their actions with faith and intention. Integrating daily habits for spiritual and financial growth. Consistency is key when inviting barakah into your life. Simple daily habits, when practiced mindfully, can multiply blessings, improve financial stability, and strengthen spiritual well-being. Establish routines that combine intention, prayer, and ethical action, so that every day becomes an opportunity to align with Allah's guidance. Some practical habits include morning dhikr, to start the day with remembrance of Allah and gratitude. Regular wudu, not only before prayer, but as a refreshing practice to maintain spiritual and physical cleanliness. Recitation of the Quran, even a few verses daily, to keep the heart connected to divine wisdom. Maintaining a gratitude journal to acknowledge the blessings already present in your life. Mindful placement of blessed reminders, such as small Quranic verses or dua notes under your bed, reinforcing intention and focus on sustenance. A student in Indonesia implemented this routine over the course of a year. She placed Quranic notes under her bed, recited daily dhikr, and regularly gave charity. She observed steady income from her freelancing projects, a stronger sense of purpose, and overall improved focus and energy. Her story highlights how consistency and mindful action attract barakah both spiritually and materially. The Quran emphasizes the power of regularity and persistence. Surah Al-Muzammil 73:20 states that consistent worship, reflection, and good deeds bring Allah's support and guidance. This teaches us that small, deliberate, and repeated actions, rather than sporadic efforts, are what sustain blessings over time. Integrating these daily practices into your routine, you create an environment where spiritual, mental, and financial growth reinforce each other. Consistency transforms small actions into long-term results, ensuring that the pursuit of barakah is continuous and meaningful. Which habit will you start today to invite barakah into your life? Comment below and motivate others to take action. Your choice may inspire someone to build a consistent, blessed routine. Reflection, gratitude, and mindful intention. Reflection and gratitude are powerful tools for inviting barakah into your life. Islam teaches that mindful awareness of blessings and intentional action amplifies both spiritual and material benefits. Hidden reminders under your bed, such as Quranic verses or dua notes, should be seen as tools to maintain focus and intention, not as objects of superstition. A family in Morocco adopted this practice by beginning each day with gratitude and consciously placing intentional reminders in their home. Over time, they reported reduced financial stress, more opportunities to share their blessings with others, and a deeper sense of spiritual connection. The Quran reinforces the importance of gratitude. Surah Ibrahim 14:7 states, "If you are grateful, I will surely increase your favor." This teaches us that acknowledging what we already have opens the door for multiplication of blessings in our lives. Reflection, paired with mindful intention, strengthens our connection to Allah and aligns our actions with divine wisdom, creating an environment rich with barakah. What are you grateful for today? Comment below and reflect on how gratitude can bring barakah into your life. Sharing your gratitude may inspire others to cultivate mindfulness and blessings in their own homes. Closing and call to action. As we conclude, remember that barakah, divine blessings, flows from a combination of faith, sincere intention, mindful action, and reflection. Small, consistent practices, such as placing symbolic reminders under your bed, are not magical in themselves. They serve as tools to focus your heart, intentions, and actions toward Allah. By integrating these symbolic reminders with daily prayer, dhikr, and gratitude, you create an environment where spiritual, financial, and personal growth reinforce each other. Real-life examples, from families in Morocco to students in Indonesia and entrepreneurs in Malaysia, show that consistent intention and ethical action bring unexpected opportunities, increased income, and deeper spiritual fulfillment. The Quran and Sunnah guide us in this process. Surah Al-Baqarah 2261 illustrates that Allah multiplies the reward of what is righteous, and Surah Ibrahim 14:7 reminds us that gratitude leads to increased blessings. When your intentions are pure and actions aligned with faith, even the smallest steps can yield remarkable results. Remember, barakah is holistic. It encompasses wealth, health, family harmony, and spiritual growth. By consciously combining reflection, gratitude, prayer, and symbolic reminders in your daily routine, you invite continuous blessings into every aspect of your life. Start today. Take small mindful actions and watch how Allah transforms your efforts into enduring benefits. Indeed. Will you place a symbolic reminder under your bed and combine it with prayer and gratitude? Comment below and let's inspire each other to invite Barakah into our lives. Your commitment may encourage someone else to take their first step toward mindful blessings.